Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. It is time to flour it up, and I am using some help from the store today because I'm in a hurry. I forgot one other key ingredient. Looking over my list is cream cheese. Now, I've made these from scratch before, but not today. I'm in a hurry. And I actually found this cupcake. That's what I'm making. I'm going to make some cupcakes at an event that I went to. She became a friend eventually. She had red velvet cheesecake cupcakes. Not cheesecake, red velvet. Like, they were separate. Like, two separate things. But in a cupcake. So that's what I'm going to be making. I made them from scratch before. We usually have them around Thanksgiving or for Thanksgiving. So I'm going to make these today. You're going to see this the Friday after Thanksgiving because I don't have time to upload another video, which I already have one queued up for tomorrow. It's a little bit of everything. Sorry about that. But this is a dessert that I'm going to make for Thanksgiving because I like them. And I'm going to only make half of this box because I don't want to make a whole 24 because I'm probably going to be the only one eating them, and it's going to be other desserts there, and this is what I wanted. It's not that I need to make this. And I have an hour to make this before I need my oven for the turkey and all the other sides that I've decided to make as well, even though I didn't need to. But anyway, back to it, flour it up. So I'm going to make some red velvet cheesecake cupcakes. And I'm doing half this package. It will make 24 cupcakes. Actually, we'll make more because you're going to have a cheesecake layer. So it make probably about maybe 30 or so if this makes 24, and then you're going to have a cheesecake layer. I've never made it from the box before. I've made actually 12 from another recipe, but I'm going to use box this time because like I said, I'm in a hurry. So we're going to get over this. This is the sorry state of my oven, and it is full because I had no more room because all this was piled up. Yep. And yeah, I gotta get this together. So during the holiday season, these dirty dishes just materialize out of nowhere. I swear, I don't know what half of these were used for. So for the full recipe, I would have used the whole block of softened 8-ounce cream cheese, but because I'm only doing half, I'm using actually a little less than half of the full block because I'm only doing half of the amount. Okay, so to my softened cream cheese, I added a little bit of sour cream. There was probably about a tablespoon left in here, and I've just added it in and mixed it in. I found recipes with and without it. I like a New York style cheesecake, and I think it adds to the tanginess, the flavor of it. So if I have it, I always put it in. If not, I don't necessarily go out and buy it just to make this recipe. So I just happen to have it, so I'm putting it in my sugar. I am using vanilla sugar. That's why I'm sifting it so I don't get the vanilla pieces in there. So in goes my sugar. Ingredient I actually borrowed from a different recipe. I'll put both of them in the description box below. And that's just some all-purpose flour, about a half of a tablespoon. I usually put a whole tablespoon if I'm going to do the full batch, but because I'm only doing half, I only put half in. And it just helps the cheesecake to set up a little bit. If you don't want like a firm cheesecake, then you can leave it out. But I added it in because I like a nice firm cheesecake layer. And I'm just going to mix this all in until it's nice and smooth. I can't do this one-handed very good, but I'll come back with the last and final ingredient. Is a little bit of vanilla. I know I used the vanilla sugar, but I like the vanilla flavoring to come through. So I'm just going to add a little bit more vanilla and get that all mixed in as well. Okay, so here it is all ready to go. Now I'm just going to spoon it into my line cupcake molds. And I'm just going to take a scoop, not because I want it to be uniform or anything like that. It's just going to be a lot easier to get it in here. Okay, so I've got the cheesecake layer down in all the molds, and I just took the back of like a teaspoon and just spread it on in there because it's going to be a stiff layer. It's not going to spread as much, so I just made sure it was kind of spread out sort of evenly. It doesn't have to be perfect. As you can see, it's not. So moving on to the red velvet. So I have half of my red velvet cake mix in here, and there's the rest. I'm going to put it back in the box, and yes, I did use a scale for this because I don't want no problems today. So, yeah, I'm gonna get this pretty much going as the back of the box, but instead of water, I'm gonna use milk. I'm actually gonna use 2 eggs, and I'm gonna use half the amount of oil. I was gonna use butter, but I'm not. I'm gonna use oil. So in goes my oil, and I have not seen any difference as to what order these are put in as you put them in the mix. So in goes my oil. It was closest to my arm, so in it goes. Okay, so in goes my milk. I've actually used half cream, and this is milk going in. So half and half. I'm gonna mix that in, and then I'm gonna get my eggs in here. So in goes 1 egg, and I am using water glass eggs. Gonna get that mixed in, and I'm gonna get my other egg in goes egg number 2 water glass egg. Get that mixed in. So I'm thinking it's a little loose, a little looser than I would like it. So what I'm gonna do is sprinkle in a little bit, probably like a tablespoon or so of just all-purpose flour, and mix that in, and that's gonna stiffen it up. Okay, there it is, and I think that's perfect. Yep, that's the consistency I would like, and I'm going to get this into the cupcake pan. Just using my medium-sized scoop. Let's see if I can do this one-handed to get it in here. Yeah, no, I can't do this one-handed. All right, so you get the meaning. Okay, so the have the red velvet on the top, and my oven just came up to temp while I was scooping in the last couple of ones. So I'm going to get them into the oven on 350. The box says between 16 and 19 minutes. Mine cooks a lot faster than that, so I'm gonna set a timer for 12, check it, and then if they're ready, I'm gonna pull them out. And that made the perfect amount. I just have little scraps left. Nothing to even lick the bowl at because everybody's still asleep, and I'm actually up and in the kitchen by myself at the moment. So while my cupcakes are in the oven, I'm gonna get my turkey from outside because it is still freezing out there. Yes, it is. And get that ready to go in the oven once these cupcakes come out. It was risky, but it worked, and you can see the condensation on it that I bought when I bought it inside. It is still cold. So yeah, I'm gonna get these bungee cord off, and we're gonna look once before, and we had a fridge that actually accepted it, but this fridge doesn't adjust, so I can't get it in there. But this is what it looks like. Wow, that's all the garlic and everything floating on top. So I'm gonna get this drained, washed off, and into the pan that I'm gonna roast it in. Okay, so here they are out of the oven, and my toothpick came out clean. It's not focusing, but it's clean. And they actually took 16 minutes because I did it at 12 and they weren't quite ready, so I put them on for another 4 minutes, and I checked them and it came out clean. So I'm gonna let them cool before I ice them. Okay, so I've got some melted butter. I didn't mean to melt it down, I just meant to soften it, but that's okay. With my herbs in it, my turkey, and my herbs for my cavity there. I've got some crushed garlic, or yeah, I just smacked it with the knife, the side of a knife. Some fresh rosemary, some dried sage. I wish I had some fresh sage, but I don't. I'm putting some lemon grass in there. I've got some parsley, and all that's gonna go into there. So I'm making sure I'm patting my turkey dry before I put the butter on. It's just gonna help it stick a lot better. And all in here as well. Just pat everything dry. So there it is, all seasoned up. I'm going to tuck the wings under and tuck up these legs, and we are going to put it in the oven. I did put all the spices in there, and yes, I do keep the butter paper in there. I think it just helps to keep the moisture in because that cavity is so big and I can't close it all the way up, so it just helps it, and I think it cooks a little bit faster. So there it is. My legs are as best tied up as I could get them. My wings are tucked under. Yep, in the oven. So here they are out of the oven on a cooling rack to cool.
So as you can see, my turkey survived the night, and into the oven it goes, tented with some foil. And the never-ending dishes continue. Yep. I am still washing dishes. This is probably about my third or fourth round so far this morning. And it will continue through the rest of the day.
Okay, so the red velvet cheesecake cupcakes have completely cooled, and I'm now going to make the frosting or the icing for them. I have the rest of that block of softened cream cheese, and I'm going to add in some powdered sugar, a little bit of vanilla, and some milk. Or I have a can of evaporated milk that I'm going to use, that I used for my sweet potato casserole earlier. Well, actually yesterday. So, well, you won't be seeing this till next week. And to bring it to the consistency I want it to be. So I did have to add a little bit more powdered sugar to get it back to the consistency I wanted. It was a bit loose. I guess I added too much evaporated milk in there because I wanted a little bit stiffer than it was. Okay, there it is. It would have been nice to have a hand mixer, but I don't own one of those. Hopefully Santa will bring me one this year. We'll see. And I didn't want to pull out the stand mixer for this. There are a few bumps left in it. I think if I leave it for a minute so those hydrate, I might be able to smooth them out a little bit better. And I think I will do that. I'll cover it and see if I can get this a little bit smoother than what it is. But that's pretty much the ice. Here it is. I ice one, and I'm letting the rest sit because you can see the bump still in this, but that's okay. This is what it looks like. You can see the cheesecake layer on the bottom. And I'm going to try a piece. Let's cut that in half. And yeah. I probably should have done, for me, maybe the full cheesecake layer and made the cheesecake layer thicker. I like a lot of cheesecake. I like cheesecake. And I like red velvet. Probably, I don't know if equally amounts, but I would have liked a little bit more cheesecake at the bottom. But it tastes delicious nonetheless, and this is going to be an extra dessert. Hopefully, I'll have a few left over at the end of the day. But, flour it up. And there they are, all iced, ready to be served. They will get a little bit hard, the icing. Not hard, probably like a thin crust on them, I will say. But they are really good, so you should try them. So there it is, the turkey. A little bit on the done side on the top, but that's okay. And yeah. I'm gonna make some gravy, and we are going to be eating in about an hour. So this will have enough time to rest. And I think I'm gonna baste it a couple times before then. So we'll see. Yep, and my legs popped out. I didn't have enough toothpicks on it. But the paper stayed in, and my wings stayed tucked under. So that was a good thing.
So after letting the icing sit for about 15 minutes, I just mixed it, and all the lumps and bumps were able to be smoothed out. So flour it up. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And click that notification bell to be notified when I upload videos. God bless, and remember, stay safe and keep prepping.